Hey guys, what is up? It is Christian here, and I'm here with my update Oscar predictions for November. I apologize, I haven't made Oscar predictions in a while, but we're here. I'm gonna try to make as many awards videos as possible. So yeah, for instance, please like and subscribe. Tell me what you think of this video. So yeah, I hope you guys are. I hope you guys also tell me your own predictions as I go along. I'd love to see them. I'm gonna try and get as many people in here as possible, so we can get started. So I can get started real quick. Hello, what's up? So I don't really see any point. Wait, let's just start right now. So yeah, let's start right now. So I hope you guys can see my predictions. And you can see the Next Goal Wins advertisement as well. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I know you guys can see the Next Goal Wins advertisement as well. Yeah, good morning at 5:10 p.m. Yes. Yeah, it's still morning here. Not just kidding, it's not. But yeah, best picture is, I think it's looking like as of right now it's a race between Oppenheimer and Poor Things. Poor Things obviously a big festival hit. People love it. I think it can win best picture. I had it at number 1 for a while before I just very recently decided I would switch back to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, I think, could maybe even sweep Best Picture. It could win Golden Globe. I think it will win Golden Globe drama 100%. There's runner-ups, Killers of the Flower Moon there. Poor Things is gonna be in comedy. Critics' Choice, I think, will probably win. Like Oppenheimer's probably gonna do well at these earlier awards. PGA, I think Oppenheimer could very easily win that unless Poor Things is like a Birdman or something. And then BAFTA, Oppenheimer. It's from a British director. Poor Things can maybe win that as well, but I think Oppenheimer is probably gonna win that one. I think BAFTA's gonna like Oppenheimer. Poor Things. People love the movie. I think it's probably gonna win Best Actress for sure. Probably gonna win Adapted Screenplay unless another movie disrupts it, which I'm gonna give what movie I think that could be when we get to that category. Director, I think if Poor Things won Best Picture, it'd win Best Director because the movie has such distinctive style that it would just have to win Best Director. I know Nolan's really overdue, but I think Yorgos would still win Director. But Nolan, you'll see where I have him in Director in a minute. And then Killers of the Flower Moon, just a lock. It's not gonna win, but it's obviously gonna get nominated. Um, SpongeBob. SpongeBob's a shirt I have on, if you were wondering. The Killers of the Flower Moon, that's obviously going to get nominated. It's not going to win, but definitely in. Barbie could maybe win. Could win PGA or something. Golden Globe, I think it could win Golden Globe as well. Comedy, not drama. The Holdover is obviously going to get nominated. If you don't have any of these top 5, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have Maestro 2, I know that's number 7, but if you don't have that in either, I don't know what to tell you. Those 6 are in. The Zone of Interest is an interesting one because I would say out of the top 10, I think Zone of Interest is actually the least likely to get nominated. However, I have the movie getting 8 nominations. I can't have it at number 10. I'm sorry. I have this ground rule. Any movie I have getting more than like 5. Wait, no, that's Maestro too, though. But yeah, Zone of Interest, I have getting so many nominations. I'm just gonna leave it in the top 6. Obviously, Golden Globes. It's not gonna do. It's gonna get like an international nomination there. Critics' Choice probably only gonna get that, but then you're gonna see it peak at BAFTA, and then it's just gonna peak at the Oscars. It's gonna be like all quiet on the Western Front. But yeah, Maestro. That's obviously getting nominated. It's probably gonna win Best Actor and Makeup, of course. It's gonna get other nominations as well. American Fiction, I think it won 2 audience awards. It won the TIFF People's Choice Award. American Fiction is getting nominated. I don't know why it wouldn't get nominated. I remember for the longest time I felt comfortable saying no thanks, even after it won TIFF. I was like, no thanks, it's not getting nominated. The Best Picture race is too crowded. But now I realize, like, yeah, it's getting in. It's getting in. Past Lives, number 9. I think Past Lives looks pretty strong. Maybe it could be like the farewell, and they just tear our heart out and just not nominated. But I don't know why they weren't nominated. I think it's pretty for sure in for a screenplay nomination, and it's probably gonna get, and it can maybe get another nomination in another category, which we'll get to. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that in. And then number 10, Anatomy of a Fall. I think Anatomy of a Fall looks pretty good, even though France didn't submit it. I think it'll be like another Diving Bell and the Butterfly thing where they just nominated anyway. I know Diving Bell and the Butterfly was not nominated for Best Picture, but it would have been if there were 10 slots. I know they got a director nomination. I'm not 100% sure if Anatomy of a Fall is going to get a director nomination, but I think it might. But yeah, this top 10, I like it. I'm not 100% comfortable with it, but I think it's pretty solid top 10. Number 11, The Color Purple. I had this in for the longest time. Even when people were a little more hesitant, I was still thinking it could get in. The thing is, I think the movie looks mid. I think it looks okay. So I think it looks kind of like generic Oscar bait. That maybe they might like it, maybe they just might not care. Golden Globes will probably go for it. They'll probably like it. Critics' Choice, maybe. Guilds might have a screener issue there, and then BAFTA, they're probably not gonna like it that much at BAFTA. So yeah. Yeah, I'll see Anatomy of a Fall eventually, but I can't see it just yet. Air, Amazon, Ben Affleck movie. Air, I think I had this in for a while. I had this in too. I don't think the hype's really there for it. I think it came out too early. They're not going to nominate unless maybe the Guilds and the Golden Globes can redeem it. Maybe I'll consider it, but I don't think Air's really that strong. May, December, I think it'll peak in the acting categories. I think May, December is going to get multiple acting nominations. So yeah, it could also get a screenplay, and it could get 3 acting nominations like Being the Ricardos. May, December, I wouldn't underestimate, but I still want to have it in. All of Us Strangers could also get like a screenplay thing. But I just don't really know. And then all these other ones, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is not going to happen, unfortunately. Napoleon, The Boys in the Boat, The Iron Claw, Priscilla, The Boy and the Heron. None of these are getting in. These are just to fill in slots. Best Director, I have Christopher Nolan at number 1 for Oppenheimer. I had Yorgos at number 1 when I had Poor Things out front, but now that I moved Oppenheimer back to number 1, I moved Christopher Nolan up front. People want to see him win. Everyone has him at number 1. Like almost everyone has him at number 1. Like he's been in the business for a long time. I think it would be a really well-deserved win. However, Yorgos Lanthimos, I think, could absolutely win for Poor Things. The movie, based on the trailers, has such a distinctive style to it that I don't think the Oscars would resist. But even then, like Nolan, I think Nolan could like win everywhere for director. I think he could literally win everywhere. But even then, Yorgos could like win. Can he win BAFTA or if he won DGA? Like that would be insane. Because I think DGA is gonna go with Nolan. Golden Globe is gonna pick Nolan 100%. Critics' Choice probably gonna pick Nolan if they're gonna pick Oppenheimer for picture. And then BAFTA, Nolan's a British director. They're probably gonna go with Nolan. I think Nolan's winning. And then let's go with the other people who aren't winning, but are definitely in. Martin Scorsese's a lock. He's getting it for sure. Not gonna win, but he's there. Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. I think he's in. It's gonna be one of those things where Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, and the DGAs all say no, but then he's gonna get BAFTA, and then he's gonna get the Oscar nomination because the Oscars are gonna love Zone of Interest if the BAFTAs love it. I'm not singing "Baby" by Justin Bieber. That's one of the worst songs of all time. No way. But yeah. And then number 5, Alexander Payne for The Holdovers. The Oscars love Alexander Payne. He's an Academy darling. I think they'll nominate him for this. Number 6, Justine Triet for Anatomy of Fall. I think she'll get a BAFTA nomination. I think she'll even get Critics' Choice, but the category. But usually they like to go with a more auteur director with a more established filmography, and I think Jonathan Glaze is going to be that for the international pick. Maybe both of them could get in. Who knows? Greta Gerwig Barbie. Some people think she's gonna get nominated. I don't really think so. Oh, I think she'll get Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, and DGA, but then BAFTAs will say no, and then the Oscars will also say no. Kind of like Denis Villeneuve for Dune. Celine Song, Past Lives. She could get Critics' Choice. She can get BAFTA. Maybe get the Oscar nomination. Maybe. I still think Celine Song's a maybe. I don't think she's out quite yet. But I personally wouldn't have her in. Bradley Cooper, Maestro. They don't really like actor directors unless it's George Clooney for Good Night and Good Luck. They don't really pick the actor directors that much. Cooper will do well though. He'll get Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, DGA, maybe even DGA, but we'll see. And then Cord Jefferson, American Fiction. Like if it's like the Triangle of Sadness thing, they just nominate, and Licorice Pizza, where they just nominate picture, director, screenplay. Maybe it could be that, but who knows? Best Actress. I think Emma Stone's winning. I think Emma Stone's gonna win. No one really seems to have a problem with giving her a second Oscar. Or sometimes there'll be a thing where like Steven Spielberg's gonna win a third Oscar for The Fabelmans, and that idea never really clicks. But this one, it totally clicks. I think Emma Stone's winning. I think she might even like win everywhere. She'll win Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, SAG, BAFTA, all of it. I think she's winning. Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. I think she's number 2. I think she'll maybe win Golden Globe drama, but I don't really think she's going to be able to compete with Emma Stone. I think even if Poor Things lost every other award it was nominated for, I think Emma Stone would still win the Oscar. I heard her performance is incredible. People think she's winning, so I think she's going to win the Oscar. Carey Mulligan, Maestro, and Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of Fall, they're going to happen. Maybe Hüller's a little bit vulnerable, like if they don't nominate Anatomy of a Fall, but if they nominate Anatomy of a Fall, Sandra Hüller's getting in. I think that top 4 is pretty solid. And then number 5 is where it gets fun. I have Natalie Portman for May, December. Oh, yes. What am I doing? I should totally have Tiger Woods at number 1. Tiger Woods is definitely going to win the Oscar. 100%. But my real number 5, I have Natalie Portman for May, December. People say she's amazing in the movie, and I think May, December could show up in these acting awards. Fantasia Barrino, The Color Purple. I had her in for the longest time. For the longest time, I was like saying she was going to get in. However, I came out like low before I took out Color Purple and Best Picture. I was kind of thinking like, what if it's another like Rachel Zegler West Side Story thing where it's a little like a film debut? They just don't go for it. I think Fantasia Barrino will be great in the movie. She'll probably get a Golden Globe comedy musical nomination, but I don't really know what else she would get aside from that. Maybe she does still get the Oscar nomination, though. Who knows? Greta Lee, Past Lives. I think she's gonna get Golden. Greta Lee could maybe be close. She can get Golden Globe drama, and she can get Critics' Choice, and she could get BAFTA. SAG probably not. SAG's probably not gonna go for her, but Greta Lee, like maybe like if Past Lives has a little bit of a boost, maybe she can still get in. Margot Robbie, Barbie, she's gonna get a Golden Globe nomination. She could maybe get a SAG. Other than that, though, this category is really crowded. I don't know if she's gonna be able to sneak in there. And that betting Nyad, she's not getting the Oscar nomination. Golden Globes, it's SAG can do whatever they want, but she's not getting the Oscar nomination. Sorry. Kaylee Spaney, Priscilla, maybe she can get like a Critics' Choice or a Golden Globe or something, but I don't think she's going to get the Oscar nomination. Best Actor. Hold on. I think Bradley Cooper is going to win. I mean, it's just such a huge transformation. The movie's going to win makeup. He's going to win Best Actor. It's going to be a makeup actor package. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. I think if he won, it would be very well deserved. But again, it's kind of hard to compete with such Oscar bait that even if Oppenheimer won Best Picture, unless they completely love it and give it every single Oscar, I don't know if Cillian Murphy would win or not. which is unfortunate, but it's what it is. Leonardo DiCaprio for the Killers of the Flower Moon. He's in there, obviously. There are probably a few people who think he might be like De Niro in The Irishman, and he just gets snubbed, but no, that's not going to happen. He's a lock. He's in there for sure. Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers. I think he's going to get in. Maybe he's a little bit vulnerable because he got snubbed for Sideways, but I think he's going to get in. His movies in Best Picture. You usually want to go with the Best Picture movies above anything else. And number 5, I have Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Usually MGM does a terrible job at campaigning their actors. They can't get them in. And, with this whole actor strike, none of the actors can campaign. But I think Jeffrey Wright, if the movie's in Best Picture, he's probably going to get nominated. Just because like they're going to nominate him. And I heard he's really good in the movie. He's very funny. He's probably not going to win the Golden Globe. He's going to get a Golden Globe. He's probably going to get Critics' Choice, SAG, maybe even BAFTA. I think he's in. Colman Domingo for Rustin. I remember seeing a few people who think he could win. However, I don't really know if he's even safe for the nomination. It's like Rustin's probably not going to get any other nominations. So I think it would be really weird if he just got a lone nomination. Golden Globes will nominate him. SAG can maybe go for him. Critics' Choice can maybe go for him. Who knows? BAFTA, he can maybe even get everywhere and still miss. So I think the fact that his movie's weaker than the others in the category makes me think they're gonna snub him. But who knows? Maybe he does still get in. Andrew Scott for All the Strangers. I don't really see it. Maybe he gets like a Critics' Choice or a Golden Globe or a BAFTA. He's gonna get BAFTA. But maybe that's it. Anthony Hopkins, Freud's Last Session. He's just there because Zac Efron, The Iron Claw, Elliot Page, Close to You. They're just there. They're not getting in. Probably, most likely. Best Supporting Actress. I don't know who's winning. Divine Joy Randolph I have at number 1, but I don't know if she's gonna win. And for the easiest time, I had Danielle Brooks at number 1 because Color Purple, I had that in Best Picture, but now that I don't have in Best Picture, I don't think I can have her at number 1. But the easy solution is just to put her at number 1, but I don't know. I don't know if Color Purple is necessarily going to get Best Picture, so I don't necessarily think she's going to win. Divine Joy Randolph, I think, might be the safest for the nomination, so I guess I have her at number 1, but yeah, I have no clue who's winning. Emily Blunt, maybe she could win for Oppenheimer. I actually toyed with having her at number 1 for a little bit, but I really hated the idea of having her and another actor that we're going to get into at number 1, but not having Cillian Murphy at number 1. I just couldn't do that. So I guess I had to leave her at number 3. Julianne Moore, May December. A lot of people seeing the movie don't think she's going to get nominated. However, the category is really weak that I think she's still going to get nominated anyway. But maybe I think she could even get in everywhere. Maybe she gets snubbed, though, because I heard the character is not really sympathetic. But I heard the performance is amazing, so I think she'll get in still because it's Julianne Moore. My number 5 slot is interesting because the 5th slot is such a mess, at least for me. I have Sandra Hüller for the Zone of Interest. I don't necessarily think she's going to get nominated, but I think she might get a BAFTA and then might get the Oscar nomination off of that. And if they really love Zone of Interest, I think they could nominate her. I mean, they nominated Marina de Tavira for Roma, and they nominated Yalitza Aparicio for Roma. I think Marina de Tavira is more of a reasonable comparison, but she didn't get in anywhere. Sandra Hüller, I think, might. It seems like a very BAFTA thing that they would double nominate her Oscars, maybe not so much. But so I'm just leaving that as a placeholder for now. I don't know. Viola Davis, Air. I just don't think she's getting in if the movie's not getting any other nominations. I've had the movie getting nominated somewhere else, maybe, but I don't know. Taraji P. Henson, Color Purple. Some people have her in. I don't. I just think it may. If Color Purple is weaker, they're just gonna get one of them in it. It's probably gonna be Danielle Brooks. Maybe it could be Taraji P. Henson, like a Judi Dench thing. but maybe she'll even get like a Golden Globe nomination, but I don't know if she'll get the Oscar nomination. Penelope Cruz from Ferrari should get a Golden Globe or a SAG or a BAFTA. I wouldn't underestimate her for the Oscar nomination. They nominated her for Parallel Mothers. They seem to like her quite a bit. I think they could maybe nominate her for Ferrari, but I think it'd be a weird lone acting nomination. And then Jodie Foster Nyad, she's gonna get like Golden Globe and SAG, and then nothing else. America Ferrera Barbie, she's not getting in any. Wait, no, maybe she can get Critics' Choice. No, but even then, like Divine Joy Randolph, Danielle Brooks, Emily Blunt, Julia Moore, Holo. Actually, no, maybe she might get Critics' Choice. Yeah, but wouldn't they nominate Margot Robbie too? Because I don't think she's gonna get a Critics' Choice nomination. All right, we don't have to talk about individual precursors right now. We can just leave it to Oscars right now. Putting too much thought into this. Best supporting actor, I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to win for Oppenheimer. I mean, the narrative is welcome back from playing Iron Man. He's phenomenal in the movie. I think he's going to win everywhere. Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. People say he's funny in the movie. I think, he's a lot. People say he could maybe win. However, the other person that I would toy with the idea of having at number one is Willem Dafoe. It's Willem Dafoe. Like, what if it's like another Jamie Lee Curtis situation, and they're just like Willem Dafoe, and they just want to give him the Oscar for like a career thing. People like because he's super overdue, maybe even more so than Robert Downey Jr. But I think he's the least likely to get nominated out of these. Ryan Gosling, Barbie, he's obviously going to get nominated. Might even win Critics' Choice or something, unless they give it to Ruffalo or Robert Downey. I think Robert Downey Jr. is probably going to win everywhere, but Critics' Choice could be the one place where they give it to Ruffalo or Ryan Gosling. And then Robert De Niro goes over Flower Moon. How could you not? He's amazing in the movie. I think it'd be really strange if they just said no thanks. I'd say touch Charles Melton May December. I do want to predict him. I think he's going to get like a Critics' Choice and BAFTA nomination. And I think they could maybe even get all three actors in there like they did with Being the Ricardos. As people say he's like the best. Some people say he's the best one in the movie out of all three of them. So I wouldn't underestimate him getting nominated. Dominic Sessa for The Holdovers. Like, what if it's Lucas Hedges in Manchester by the Sea? I don't know though. This category is more crowded than I'm assuming it was in 2016. John Majaro, Past Lives, I don't really see anymore. Jeremy Allen White, The Iron Claw, Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction. They're just there to be there. Best original screenplay. Okay, so Barbie is number one. I think Barbie's gonna win. You get to give Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach Oscars. That it's fun. And I think I see Barbie more as an adapted screenplay, but it's original. Maybe they can fraud it, but I have it at number one. I think because they like to give it to writer directors as well, which number two is also a writer director. Past Lives, which should definitely win. Past Lives would definitely be my pick for the win. But I have Barbie winning because I think the Oscars will like it more than Past Lives. Hopefully, though, Past Lives is another women talking, and they just give it the win because the screenplay is the best one. And like All Quiet was number two in Best Picture, but they still gave Women Talking Best Adapted Screenplay, even though it was like bottom three. The Holdover is obviously going to get nominated. I don't know if it's going to win because it's not a writer-director, but yeah. Anatomy Falls in there is going to get nominated for sure, definitely. I think it's locked at this point. And then Maestro, usually when the fifth slot's up in the air, you should go with the Best Picture nominee, and I think Maestro is getting the Best Picture, so I gotta have it in here. Air could maybe still get in, maybe May December, maybe The Iron Claw, Napoleon, Bottoms. Bottoms could get like a WGA nomination or something because they like their comedies, but those don't come out until after the Oscar nominations, and the WGAs aren't even until after the Oscars. How crazy is that? Because they don't like to pay their actors or writers fairly, so they just delayed it. Okay, best adapted screenplay. I have Poor Things at number one. People say the screenplay is very witty, it's very funny, it's very clever. I think I think it could just win that. Maybe though, if Poor Things kind of loses more steam, American Fiction, I think, is the runner up here. I know the WGA awards are after the Oscars, but apparently Poor Things is not going to be eligible for WGA. So what do you give the win to? The WGA is like their comedies. They're going to give it to American Fiction. I think it's kind of obvious. It's maybe American Fiction. Yeah, but BAFTA's probably going to pick Poor Things. Critics' Choice is probably going to pick Poor Things, and then Poor Things is probably going to win the Oscar. But I think it's between those two. Other nominees, I think Oppenheimer's next in line. I think Oppenheimer. Some people say Killers of the Flower Moon is 3, but I think Oppenheimer's above it because it's more likely to win Best Picture. But yeah, those two are getting nominated 100%. And then The Zone of Interest number 5, again, because I have it in Best Picture. I have it in the screenplay. Even though I heard the screenplay was a little bit limited. I have the screen. It has like barely a screenplay, but I think if it's in Best Picture, it's probably gonna get nominated. The weird thing is, I have all of my screenplay nominees are Best Picture. All of them I have in Best Picture, which is kind of interesting. The next category is the Best International Feature. The Zone of Interest, I think it's just gonna win. It seems pretty obvious. Perfect Days could maybe like if there could be a weird world where Perfect Days becomes the international contender. I don't think so. I think it's still gonna be Zone of Interest, but Perfect Days is gonna get nominated. Maybe they could do Maybe they could do a snub where Perfect Days like decisionally. But I heard the movie's excellent, and I'll have to check it out at some point. The Taste of Things is France's submission over Anatomy of a Fall. Some people have been toying with the idea if that could win, but like, why would that win? Why would that win? I don't think it would win. Society of the Snow is one of the more buzzed about ones. It's a Netflix one, and it's apparently contending in other categories. But I only have it getting this one. I don't really have it as an outside shot in other ones. Maybe I should, but I don't know. I think it's just gonna get this nomination. And then number 5, I have The Monk and the Gun. This is from the director of Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom, which got nominated. And I heard this one's better than that one. It's acclaimed, so I think that's a fit slot. Usually they always do a big snub in international feature. I think that could be About Dry Grasses, which I have at number 10. I think that's one's probably gonna miss. The Teacher's Lounge, people have had that in their top 5s. I don't have that in. Other ones, Promised Land. I don't really know what that one is. The Peasants is contending in animated feature as well. And then 20 Days in Mariupol is contending in documentary. All right. And speaking of documentary, we have documentary feature. I have Beyond Utopia at number 1. I think I've had this at number 1 for almost the whole year. But I heard this is an amazing documentary. American Symphony, I have at number 2. This is a Netflix one about John Batiste. I think, and this one got a lot of nominations at the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards, so I have that in there. 20 Days in Mariupol, which I also had as an outside shot in international. I think that's going to get nominated probably. The Mission is National Geographic, so I think you could have that in as well. And number 5, I have The Deepest Breath, just because. And then my outside shots are The Eternal Memory, still a Michael J. Fox movie, which is one of the more buzzed about documentaries, one of the more popular ones this year, but usually the popular ones always get snubbed. So yeah, and then Those Four Daughters, Stamped from the Beginning, and Kokomo City. Best Animated Feature. I think Spider-Verse is still going to win. The Boy and the Heron is obviously going to get nominated. Elemental is obviously going to get nominated. It's box office story. It's a good movie. The box office was pretty good. It had strong legs, even though it had an abysmal opening weekend. Those 3 are the only ones I'm like 100% confident in. Anything else could really happen. Wish I have getting in because it's the big Disney musical, even though I don't really think it looks that good. I think they'll still nominate it for being a Disney musical, and it's probably getting a song nomination as well. And then number 5 is Chicken Run: Dawn of the Nugget. This is Aardman and Netflix, and it's the Chicken Run sequel. Apparently, the first few reviews have been just okay, but maybe they could get more positive reviews in the future. But I don't think it's a lock. I think it could get snubbed. The one movie I am considering predicting is The Peasants, which is also contending in the international category. They love their international movies in this category. They absolutely love them. They nominate Loving Vincent, nominate The Breadwinner, Flea. They love to nominate their international contenders. Nimona, I think is kind of dead. Maybe I should even move TMNT above it. But no, I think Nimona can maybe get like an Annie nomination and then get an Oscar right off of that, just like Sea did. But I think Sea probably had better reviews, and Sea was Chris Williams as well. He's like kind of a veteran. I think he did Lilo and Stitch. Itch or some other movie. But yeah, Chris Williams is like more of a recognizable name. Nimona had it's one of the more acclaimed animated films of the year. It's an amazing film, but it doesn't really have that much buzz. TMNT Mutant Mayhem just came and went. Like, I don't think no one talks about it now, which is why I think it's getting snubbed. And then Super Mario Brothers movie that's not getting nominated. Suzume, they didn't nominate Your Name. They're not going to nominate that. Best cinematography. I have Oppenheimer at number 1. I think it's time to give Hoyte von Hoytema an Oscar. However, I don't think it's totally Oppenheimer's award because, again, with Poor Things, this is one of the other awards that had Poor Things winning while I had that at number 1 for Best Picture. Because the cinematography looks insane. It looks stunning. And it looks incredible. Again, style. Well, I think Poor Things, it would make sense for that to win cinematography that won Best Picture. However, Oppenheimer has the black and white 70mm IMAX. I think that could maybe also win. Then you have Maestro. Stunning looking black and white stuff based on the trailer. I think that's getting in for sure. Killers of the Flower Moon, obvious, definitely getting in. And then The Zone of Interest. It's Lukas Zahl, and the cinematography looks pretty good. Yeah, I think this top 5 is pretty solid. However, I wouldn't underestimate there being a surprise nominee or something. Like the color purple just looks so mid. I think even if it wasn't Best Picture, they would still maybe look over it. I still wouldn't underestimate Saltburn or El Conde potentially being spoilers to get nominated. If they want to get a non-Best Picture nominee in there. Which Color Purple, I don't have that in Best Picture either. But if that's not in Best Picture, that just lowers its chances of getting nominated, I would think. But yeah, El Conde and Saltburn, based on the trailer, apparently El Conde's already been out for like 2 months, and no one's talking about it. I don't think it's another Bardo thing at all. The real one I'm looking at is Saltburn. Saltburn looks stunning from the trailers. It absolutely looks incredible. However, they don't really like Linus Sandgren. They've snubbed him twice already. They snubbed him for First Man and Babylon. Sure, we saw it coming with Babylon, but First Man was crazy. It was crazy to see him get snubbed for First Man. That was an amazing looking movie. And then The Killer and Always Strangers are there. Best film editing, Oppenheimer's gonna win. Easy. This is one of the biggest locks of the night, I would think. Poor Things and Killers of the Flower Moon are obviously gonna get nominated. The Holdovers, I think, looks pretty good for a nomination. And then American Fiction is a comedy. And I just have that in to coattail it for a Best Picture nomination. I have it coattailing that film. Usually, I think it's gonna get an editing nomination. And because I think if it gets in for Best Picture, it's probably gonna get editing as well. Maestro, maybe that could get editing. Barbie, maybe. Air, probably not. Zone of Interest, probably not. Maybe no. Air would happen if that's in Best Picture. Let me say that Air is gonna get in if it gets in Best Picture. But it's probably not going to get Best Picture, so it's probably not going to get this. And then The Color Purple is just there, but it's not getting nominated. Best Production Design, Barbie versus Poor Things. I think this one is a tight race. I have Barbie at number 1 because what they did with Barbie Land was incredible. And they caused all the pink paint to go out of stock. It was crazy. But Poor Things, based on the trailers, Poor Things looks amazing. Based on the production design and the trailers, there's some people say like it created its own world, and I think that can maybe give it the win. Then you get your other Best Picture locks, your Oppenheimers and your Killers of the Flower Moons. Those two are obviously going to get nominated. They both should get nominated. The fifth slot, I have The Color Purple. They like to nominate their period musicals in this category. However, I will entertain the idea of the Zone of Interest getting in over it. Again, I think they're gonna love Zone of Interest. Maybe this one could be one of the categories it gets. That's off of it overperforming because they like Parasite got in here and they nominated Roma as well. And All Quiet won. They seem to like their international films and production design, it seems. So I wouldn't underestimate that getting in, but I'm gonna leave it with this top 5 right now. Maestro, Napoleon, Asteroid City. Asteroid City's not happening. And then Wonka, not happening either. Best costume design. Again, Barbie versus Poor Things. I think Barbie has costumes a little more locked up, though, because they literally have a scene in the movie where they're highlighting all the different costumes. So I think I'll give it the win. But Poor Things, I think that could win as well. Killers of the Flower Moon, obviously in. Color Purple, I think will get in. Probably more in there than for production design. Number 5 is I have Maestro because of Mark Bridges. They nominated him for Joker. They don't nominate him all the time. They didn't nominate him for the Fablemans last year, but Maestro's costume seemed to be more showy than the Fablemans, so I think they'll nominate him. Other outside shots, Napoleon has war costumes. Priscilla has costumes. Oppenheimer has men in suits. Wonka has top hats and Oompa Loompas. And The Little Mermaid has Ursula and mermaid tails. Best makeup and hairstyling. Maestro's gonna win. It's easy. It's gonna get the actor makeup combo. The makeup looks insane from the trailers. It's winning. Maestro's winning. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think Guardians 3 actually has like some of the most like makeup used in a movie apparently. So I think that maybe that could maybe even win, but we'll see. I don't think so though. I think Maestro's still gonna win for sure. Poor Things is gonna get nominated for what they did with Willem Dafoe and also the other hair in the movie from the trailers. But Willem Dafoe looks really crazy in the trailer. Barbie has wigs and hair. No prosthetics, but does have wigs and hair. And number 5 is Oppenheimer because they subtly aged Cillian Murphy, and at the end they transformed Gary Oldman into Harry Truman. And at the ending, all of the characters are just caked in old makeup. So yeah, I think Oppenheimer's getting in. Nyad, apparently, I haven't seen the movie, but apparently she has like jellyfish stings and other stuff. They made her orange, but that's not makeup. For makeup, yes, they nominated Guardians 1, and they nominated Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But yeah, Nyad, I think that could maybe get in if it makes the short list. Priscilla could be a makeup contender as well. The Color Purple, no. Golda, people don't like it. Even though Helen Mirren is in prosthetics. And John Wick Chapter 4, because of what they did with Scott Adkins, was really good. Best visual effects. This category is a crazy one because Oppenheimer, I think, might not even get nominated, but I think if it gets nominated, it's just totally going to win. So I just have that at number 1 for now because I think it's going to get nominated. So I think it's going to win. The Creator, I had that at number 1. I think out of the top 3, I've seen all the movies in the top 3. The Creator would be my pick for the win because of what they did with an $80 million budget was insane. I think if it won, it'd be very well deserved. But the movie flopped at the box office, unfortunately, so I don't think it's going to win. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, lock. That's obviously in. The Little Mermaid, I was originally going to say no thanks to that. And the effects don't really look that amazing. In like, the character designs are nightmare fuel, but they love to nominate their Disney movies in this category, and they're probably just going to nominate The Little Mermaid because the category is super weak. And then number 5, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Maybe this could be like a Free Guy nomination where they just nominate it for being a bigger, like being a more mainstream movie or something. And apparently the movie has a lot of visual effects, so I think they'll nominate it. Rebel Moon, specified it with part 1. It's Zack Snyder. I don't really think they're going to care about Zack Snyder personally. And all this other stuff, Napoleon, Mission Impossible, Poor Things. I don't really buy Poor Things getting in. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that's not going to get in either. So yeah, this category is super weak. You can definitely feel Doom Part 2's absence because it got delayed into March. You could totally feel its absence in this category because it's just very bleak. Best sound, Oppenheimer, it's winning. This is probably the most locked in category of the night. Like there's no way Oppenheimer is losing this. Look at the runner up. The runner up's Killers of the Flower Moon, I think. But there's no shot that wins. But yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon is just gonna get nominated because it's a movie in Best Picture. They nominate Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker. I know they didn't nominate The Irishman, but Killers of the Flower Moon but Killers of the Flower Moon is that not gonna be exactly like The Irishman. It's gonna get more. It's gonna get over 10 and nominations. This category is so interesting that I have Zone of Interest at number 3. I heard like the sound of that movie is incredible, so I think it's gonna get nominated if it's in Best Picture. I think they're gonna nominate it. Maestro, he's gonna be conducting, and that's probably gonna get the nomination. And then Poor Things, I have that at number 5 because it's a sci-fi like space sci-fi movie in Best Picture. Heard the sound's really good. I think they'll nominate it anyway. Color Purple. If this isn't Best Picture, it'll get nominated because it's a musical, but I have it missing because I don't have it in Best Picture. The Killer, I think that could get in as well. I think that could maybe happen. The Creator, it's sci-fi, but that's not gonna happen. Ferrari, I heard pretty bad things about the sound, so that's not gonna happen probably. And then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that won't happen either. Best original score, Oppenheimer is gonna win for sure, 100%. Louis Göransson's gonna get a second Oscar. He's gonna get a fourth nomination. No, it's a third nomination because they didn't nominate him for Tenet. He won for Black Panther. Then he was nominated last year for original song for Wakanda Forever, and then this is gonna be his third nomination and his second win, which is pretty awesome. Killers of the Flower Moon, I have that number 2. It's going to be a posthumous nomination for Robbie Robertson. So that's getting in. Poor Things, I think will get in. I heard the score's incredible. If that was the original score in the trailer, it sounds really good. So I think that will get nominated. Well, Scorsese's going to get 3 nominations because he's producer on Killers of the Flower Moon, director, and writer. So he's going to get 3 nominations this year. He might even because I think he's also a producer on Maestro, so he might even get 4. But yeah, next few, I have Zone of Interest, Mika Levi, who was nominated for Jackie. I heard the score. I heard Zone of Interest has like 10 minutes of music, but I heard it's some of the best you'll hear all year, so I have that in. And then number 5, I have Past Lives. They nominated Minari and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't think they're going to be shy to nominate this score. It's an amazing score, so they nominate it. Number 6, Elemental. Probably out of all the animated films is the most likely one to get in because it's Thomas Newman. The score is really good, and they love Thomas Newman. And yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. 100% should be getting nominated, but I think it's gonna be one of those snubs that we all complain about. We think it's gonna get nominated, and then the Oscars just don't give us what we want, and we're gonna scream in agony when they ultimately snub Spider-Verse. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I had this in for the longest time But recently, I came around and said, like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to. I know they love John Williams. They nominated him 53 times. However, the reception for this movie is horrible. People don't like it. The movie tanked at the box office. I just don't really see the passion for it. And it came out in summer, too. One thing that Rise of Skywalker had, one benefit is that it came out December. But Indiana Jones, this came out in the summer. This came out in summer. Like, they're not going to nominate this, I don't think. American Fiction, I just have that. And then the creator, Hans Zimmer, great score, not going to get nominated. Time for Best Original Song. All right. Time for Best Original Song, guys. This is our final category. I have I'm Just Ken from Barbie at number 1. This should win. It probably will win. It'll be the best performance at the Oscars, 100%. It's gonna be a fun song. They like fun songs sometimes. Not to Man or Muppet. They're gonna give it the award if it's nominated. What Was I Made For from Barbie, the Billie Eilish song, amazing song as well. Probably not gonna win. It's the slower ballad. It's the slower song on the Barbie soundtrack, which might even make it safer for the nomination. But I think, both of these are gonna get nominated. They submitted 3 songs. They're gonna get 2 of them in, I think. Number 3, I have The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot, which is a movie I've never heard of in my life, but it's Diane Warren. And this was the Diane Warren song that got nominated at the Music Guild or something, or one of those awards. So I think they're going to nominate. I don't know if he's one of the songwriters. I don't know about that. We'll see. But The Fire Inside, Diane Warren has that documentary coming out next year. She'll probably get nominated for that. But people think she'll get nominated for 80 for Brady, but that one didn't show up. They nominated this one instead, so I think they'll nominate The Fire Inside. This Wish from Wish. This song, it's a very typical Disney I Want song, but it's okay, and they're probably gonna nominate it anyway off of it being a musical. Maybe even if it gets snubbed for animated feature, they're still gonna nominate it. It's happened before. It happened with the Lego Movie, Trolls, Frozen 2. Frozen 2 is probably the best example. But yeah, and then Keep It Moving from The Color Purple. This is the Color Purple song. That's probably enough. Maybe if they want to get viewership up and they want to get performances from NSYNC or Lenny Kravitz, then you can nominate Better Place from Trolls Band Together or Road to Freedom from Rustin. But I heard the Rustin song is like nothing special. And then Better Place, it's just generic pop music. It's not really anything special. They just nominated it for views. That's what would happen. Quiet As from Past Lives. This one's probably gonna make the short list because it's from a Best Picture contender, but probably not gonna get nominated. Dance the Night from Barbie. This is the other Barbie song that was submitted. The Dua Lipa song that's played on the radio 24/7. But I don't think it's definitely the least likely to get nominated. Am I Dreaming from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? This is the Spider-Verse song submitted. It's not getting in. They had the Music Guild nominations out, and 80 for Brady wasn't there. It was the Flamin' Hot song, which I have no idea what that movie even is, but I think it's a Becky G song, actually. I think she was the one who sang the song. So I think that's the song that's going to get nominated for Diane Warren. But anyway, we know she's going to get nominated anyway. So yeah, those are my Oscar predictions for November. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.